Okay, so what I'm going to do is go through here, get you started on a few of these, and I'm going to let you work on it for a little while, then we'll come back together at the end of class and go over some of it. Okay, so, well, first of all, let's do this. There's going to be some of these that's not going to be on your test. Go ahead and skip these. So go ahead and cross off 8, 9, and 10. Don't do 8, 9, or 10. You're not going to have that on your test. Should have just deleted those off, but I already made the copies before I remembered that. 8, 9, or 10 will not be on your test. Okay, number 4. Can a diameter be a chord? Yes. In fact, a diameter is always a chord. Okay, number 5. If the circumference of a circle is 44, what is the radius?
22.
Okay, and that's what everybody says, but okay, if it said the diameter is 44, yeah, then the radius would be 22, but this is not talking about the diameter, it's talking about the circumference being 44. All right, so circumference of a circle is equal to pi times diameter, right?
Wait.
Circumference equals pi times diameter. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working backwards here. So I know the circumference is 44, and that equals pi times the diameter. So I'm looking for the diameter, and this is asking for the radius. We'll get to the radius in a second. That'll be easy, but okay, so the circumference is 44. That's equal to pi times the diameter. So how am I going to solve for the d? How am I going to get the diameter by itself? How can I get this diameter by itself? What do I have to get rid of?
The pi.
The pi. So how am I going to get rid of that pi?
Divide it by 44.
Yep. So divide by pi on both sides. The reason I'm doing that is that way that these pi's cancel to 1. They cancel out. Just 1 times diameter is just equal to a diameter. Then what's 44 divided by pi? So 14.005. So 14 is good enough here. Okay. Now, the diameter equals 14. The question here is, what is the radius? So how do we find the radius from the diameter? Just cut it in half, right? So the radius for the circle would be 7 centimeters. Okay, dropping down to number 7. In circle R, find the arc length. Okay, so there's going to be several questions on your test that's related to this, arc length. Okay, so the formula for arc length is 2 pi r times m over 360. You will definitely need that. There's 4 or 5 questions on your test that you'll need this formula, so make sure you get this down. Okay, so on this one, so the 2 things you need. What are the 2 things you need within this formula right here? 2 is 2, you don't need that. Pi is pi, you don't need that. 360 is 360, you don't need that. So what are the 2 variables in here?
R and M.
R and M. So R is the radius. How long is the radius for this circle?
45. 8.
Is 8. The radius is 8. And M is the measurement of the angle that makes that arc. And arc PQ is right here. So how big is the angle that makes that? 45. So 8 is going to go here. 45 is going to go here. So 2 times pi times 8 times 45 over 360. It's what? 6.28 meters. All right, yeah. So jumping up here to number 12. Okay, so number 12 says find the diameter. The diameter is right here. We'll find the length of that diameter. So how am I going to find the length of this diameter? I'm going to put my X right there. What am I going to use to find the length of that right there, of the diameter? The what? Well, kind of. Yeah, how am I going to find X there?
Oh, like, so 7 plus 24, right?
Right, yeah.
Plus x equals, I don't know, do we know?
Isn't the square root?
I don't know.
How am I going to find the length of this side right here? You're on the right track. You're on the right track. How am I going to find it?
Isn't like equal 180 or something like that?
Okay, the angles add up to 180, but this is talking about how long that side is. There you go. Good. Pythagorean theorem. Right? So we're going to do 7 squared plus 24 squared equals x squared. Okay, Pythagorean theorem. It's a right triangle. Another 2 legs. Looking for the hypotenuse. X is the hypotenuse, the C. Okay, 7 squared plus 24 squared is 625. Just working that all out in one shot there equals x squared. And how do I get rid of a square? Take the square root. Good. So x equals 25. That's the diameter. So the diameter for this circle is 25 whatever units. Now from there, it says to find the circumference of the circle. So all the way around, and circumference is pi times diameter. We just found out that the diameter is 25, so I'm going to do pi times 25. 78 point what? 54. Okay, next one says find the measurement of angle ABC. So angle ABC is this angle right here. I'm looking for the measurement of that. Now to find that angle, what I need to know is, from what's already given, what I need to do is find out how many degrees this arc is from A to C, the minor arc AC. Okay, so you can see from here to here is 115, from here to here is 95. So how am I going to find the arc from A to C? Yep. Okay, so the whole distance all the way around is how many degrees in a circle? 360. So I'm going to take 360 and I'm going to subtract 115. Subtract 95. 360 minus 115 minus 95 is what?
150.
Is 150. And that's talking about this arc right here. So 150 degrees. So from that arc, how am I going to find this angle over here?
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2. And that tells me that is 75 degrees. That's what we're looking for. That angle is 75 degrees. Okay, good there, good there. Same. All right, so real quick, name a radius. What? Seriously? Come on, a radius.
Oh, it's
XV is 1, that'll work. Okay, a chord, or diameter.
ZT.
ZT. Okay, a chord. ZT, but ZT is a chord for sure. RS is a chord also. Okay, number 6. So if arc AB is 65 degrees what is the measure of arc DB?
115.
Yeah, because if you go all the way from D to A, how many degrees is that?
180.
180, and this is 65, so we just do 180 minus 65. That tells me that that's 115 degrees. Okay, so with that right there, how big is angle ACB? It's 65.
Oh. Oh, I see.
And then how big is angle BCD?
115.
115. Okay, that's the same thing as all those other ones. We're good. All right, number 15. So it says angle X is 116 degrees, and we're looking for angle Z. So remember, when you put a quadrilateral inside of a circle like this, what happens to these opposite angles?
180.
They add up to 180. They're supplementary. So how big is angle Z? 64. 180 minus 116 is 64 degrees. Okay, number 16. All right. This arc is congruent to this arc. And when that happens, that means that this chord and this chord are congruent. So we're going to set them equal and solve for x. So we have 5x minus 8 equals 3x. Yeah, well, minus 5x. That's going to give us negative 8 equal to negative 2x. Divide by negative 2. So x equals 4. Now I need x, but it doesn't say find x. It says what's the length of KL. So I need to take this 4 and plug it in right there for KL. 3 times 4 is 12. KL equals 12. Okay, number 17. So since these two chords are congruent, the two arcs are congruent. So 4x minus 9 equals 135. Add 9. 4x equals 144. And if you divide that, you get 36. Okay, on this one, it says find the circumference. So we got to know the diameter first. So we're going to do Pythagorean theorem. 6 squared plus 10 squared equals x squared. And we're going to run out of time, so I'm just going to tell you, if you work that out, you get 11.66. Okay? That's the diameter. So the diameter is 11.66. Then we want to find the circumference. So I'm going to do pi times the diameter. And that gives you 36.64 centimeters. Okay, on the back. Let's look at number 20. Okay, so number 20, it says the diameter of circle K is 20. The diameter is 20. So if the diameter is 20, how long is the radius for the circle? 10. Okay, so that is important. I am going to need the radius. If the diameter is 20, the radius is 10. Okay, next thing, it says that PQ is 16. So all the way from P to Q is 16. So how far is it from P to L? If all the way from P to Q is 16, how long is it from P to L?
4.
Half of that, it's 8.
Oh. Wasn't it 11?
Oh, yeah.
9 or 1?
Now, it says to find KL, so what I'm looking for is this from here to here, K to L. That's where my X is going to be. All right, now the other thing is this right here, that the radius is 10. So if I draw the line from here to here, I'm drawing a radius. That is a radius, right?
Mm-hmm.
From K to P. So how long is that radius? It's 10. So what am I going to use now to find this side down here? How am I going to find this x? Good, Pythagorean theorem. X squared plus 8 squared equals 10 squared. So x squared plus 64 equals 100. Subtract 64. Bless you. X squared equals 36. Square root. Okay, should be good there. There, same thing, same thing. Okay, let's look at number 26. Okay, so on this one, we're looking for the measurement of arc GH. So we're going to have to take a couple steps before we get to that. But first of all, I need to know what the value of x is. So what do I know about angle E and angle F here? What do I know about those? They're equal, right? They open to the same arc. Yes. So we're going to set them equal. X plus 42 equals 3x. Now down here on GH, I don't know anything directly. It doesn't tell me anything about this directly. So I'm going to have to plug that 21 in somewhere else and then get from there to that arc. So I'm going to take this 21 and plug it in right here. What is 3 times 21? 63. Okay, so angle F is 63 degrees. Now from that 63 degree angle, how am I going to get to this arc that I'm looking for? Times 2. So take that 63 degree angle, double it, and what do I get? 126, and that's what we're looking for. GH, arc GH is 126 degrees. Okay, and the last thing I want to remind you of real quick is on this circle. So this circle is split up into percentages, or that's the way it's listed. It's showing it as a percentage. So if I added all of these numbers up, what would these 5 numbers add up to? 100, right? What I want to know is, okay, this piece right here that's 40% of the circle, how many degrees is that? So I need to know what is 40% of 360. So I'm just going to do 360 times 0.40. What does that give me? 144 degrees. Okay, and that's what you'll do with the rest of those slices. 360 times 0.30, that'll tell you how many degrees that slice is. 360 times 0.14, that'll tell you how big those slices are. 360 times 0.02, that'll tell you how big that little tiny slice is. Okay, so that'll get you a pretty good start on that. So I want you to go ahead and get grouped up and I'm gonna let you work about 10-15 minutes, and we'll come back together at the end of class and finish it up. Okay, on the back. So on this one, you're just finding the length. So it's that same formula, 2 pi r times m over 360. So on this one, it's going to be 2 pi times 7 times 40 over 360. Okay, 4.89. Now, so on this one, the answer is 4.89. But I want you to be careful, because on your test tomorrow, there's going to be a question that looks or it's this same picture like this, but it's going to ask a different kind of a question. What it's going to talk about is it like being a clock. And it says that like the thing swings there, but then it swings back. And it asks how far it goes. Okay. So it goes 4.89, but then it's got to swing back another 4.89. So you're going to do it times 2. Okay? So I'm just telling you, make for sure. Pay attention for that on your test tomorrow. The question like this, that looks like this, it's going to be the length, but times 2, because it's got to swing there and back. Okay, on that one, that's the same thing. We're good there. We should be good there. Okay, on this one, since those arcs are congruent, the chords are congruent, so 4x equals 3x plus 22. And yeah, just x equals 22 there. Okay, so number 25. So there's going to be a couple little steps we have to take on this one because it's asking what's the measurement of arc SR. Okay, and so to find SR, what do I need to know? How can I find the measurement of arc SR?
The angles.
Yeah, if I knew how big angle P is, I could find that arc, right? Because that arc is just double that angle. Well, what's keeping me from knowing how big that angle is? The X. So if I find the value of X, I can plug that in there, find that angle, then double it to get that arc. So we're going to have to take a few steps here real quick. So how big is angle S?
Oh, we don't know.
It's 90.
Oh,
Right, remember, it opens up to this 180 degree arc. So it's half of that. So this is 90. Okay, so in a triangle, those 3 angles add up to what? 180. So we have 3x plus 1, that's angle P, plus 90, that's angle S, plus 7x minus 1, that's angle R, and together those all equal 180 degrees.
So that's 10x.
Yep. So you have 3x and 7x, that makes 10x. 190 and negative 1 is what?
90.
It's just 90.
And then minus 90.
Then minus 90. 10x equals 90.
It's just 90.
So divide both sides by 10. X equals 9. Now I'm going to take that 9 and plug it in actually right there into this x. So 3 times 9 plus 1 is what?
27 and 28.
So that's 28. So angle P right here is 28 degrees. So to find the arc I'm looking for, I've got to take this number times 2. So 28 times 2
56.
is 56 degrees. Okay, we're good there. Got that one. Okay, on this one, how big is this little angle right here?
it's 35.
Yep, it's 35. Right, because those add up to 180. So if you do 180 minus 90 minus 55, that tells you that angle's right there. It's 35. Now the question is, what's the measurement of arc in Q? So from N around to Q. So it is 125 because it's the 35 plus 90, so 125 degrees.